Derek Bieri seemed to vanish from the very platform that made him a legend. One day he's reviving dead cars in his Minnesota garage with nothing but duct tape and determination. The next he's signing deals with corporate giants and packing up his entire life. Fans started whispering. Some said he sold out. Others claimed legal troubles forced him underground. The truth? It's way more complicated than anyone expected. What really went down with the Vice Grip garage creator isn't just about one man's journey. It's about what happens when your blue-collar hustle meets big business pressure. Before Derek Bieri became the guy who could resurrect any junkyard relic, he was drowning in spreadsheets and boardroom meetings. Picture this: a farm kid from rural North Dakota who grew up fixing combines with whatever rusty parts his grandfather had lying around, now wearing a suit and playing the corporate game. He'd climbed the ladder, landed those executive positions everyone dreams about, and felt absolutely miserable doing it. His hands missed the grease. His soul craved the garage. Every night after work, Derek would watch shows like Roadkill and think about what could have been. Then one random evening in 2018, something snapped. He grabbed his busted iPhone, literally taped it to his garage door, and decided to film himself dropping a small block engine into a Camaro. No fancy equipment, no production crew, just a guy doing what he loved, hoping maybe someone out there would care. That decision cost him everything secure. Walking away from a corporate salary isn't just risky, it's terrifying when you've got a wife and 3 kids depending on you. But Derek had grown up on a farm where nothing came easy, where you fixed what broke because there wasn't money to replace it. That same resourcefulness told him he could make this work. The early videos were rough around the edges, the lighting sucked, the audio was questionable, but viewers didn't care about production value, they cared about authenticity. Here was a guy who talked like a real person, made mistakes on camera, and showed you the unglamorous truth about car restoration. No million-dollar builds, no pristine garage setups, just honest wrenching with a budget that regular folks could actually relate to. Within months, Vice Grip Garage started pulling serious numbers, and Derek realized he'd made the right call. But that's when things got complicated. When Derek announced his partnership with MotorTrend in 2022 for a show called Roadworthy Rescues, the comment sections exploded. Half his fan base celebrated, their guy was going mainstream. The other half felt betrayed, convinced he'd just sold his soul to the very corporate machine he'd escaped from. The concerns weren't baseless. MotorTrend had a reputation for chewing up and spitting out automotive creators. Fans watched it happen to other YouTubers who signed similar deals, only to see their content suffer under network demands and ridiculous scheduling conflicts. People loved Derek specifically because he wasn't polished or corporate. He was rough, real, and unapologetically himself. Now he was climbing into bed with a network known for overproduction and manufactured drama. What made it worse was the timing. Derek seemed less active on his YouTube channel right as the MotorTrend news dropped. Videos slowed down. The gaps between uploads grew longer. Dedicated fans who'd been there since the taped iPhone days started panicking. Message boards filled with speculation: was MotorTrend restricting his YouTube content? Had they bought him out completely? Some even suggested contractual obligations were silencing the creator they loved. Derek tried addressing the concerns, explaining that Roadworthy Rescues would focus on revivals while Vice Grip Garage would continue independently. He promised creative control, swore he wouldn't change his style, and insisted he could handle both platforms. But words mean nothing when your upload schedule tells a different story. The reality hit hard. Producing content for a major network while maintaining an independent YouTube channel meant working over 100 hours every single week. That's not hustle, that's unsustainable. Fans didn't see the exhaustion or the family sacrifices happening behind the scenes. They just saw their favorite creator seemingly abandoning the platform that built him. The frustration boiled over into accusations of selling out, of choosing money over community. And just when tensions peaked, Derek made another move that sent the rumor mill into overdrive. Nothing fuels internet speculation quite like a sudden relocation. And when Derek announced his family was leaving Minnesota for Tennessee, theories erupted everywhere. Legal troubles, financial collapse, marital problems, contract disputes with MotorTrend. Every armchair detective had a theory, and none of them were kind. The timing seemed suspicious. Derek's upload frequency had already dropped. The MotorTrend deal had fans on edge. Now he's suddenly packing up his entire garage operation and moving states. People connected dots that didn't exist, convinced something serious was forcing the Bieiri family to flee. Forums filled with claims about lawsuits and investigations. Some even pointed to his truck nicknamed Lawsuit as evidence of legal drama, completely missing that it was just a playful name for a beat-up restoration project. The real reason was almost disappointingly normal. They wanted land for their kids. Jessica and Derek both grew up in rural farm settings and wanted that same environment for their 3 boys. Minnesota had become too restrictive. Derek mentioned how he couldn't even ride a snowmobile on his own property without neighbors calling the cops. They craved space, freedom, and a place where their kids could grow up wrenching on dirt bikes and go-karts without constant complaints. Tennessee offered everything Minnesota couldn't: cheaper land, more privacy, better weather, and a thriving automotive community. No drama, no scandal, just a family choosing quality of life over convenience. But try telling that to an internet convinced there's always a darker story lurking beneath the surface. Derek addressed the rumors directly, probably frustrated that such a straightforward family decision had morphed into conspiracy theories. He assured fans Vice Grip Garage would continue exactly as before, just with a different backdrop. The move meant building a new shop from scratch, which explained some of the content gaps fans had noticed. Yet even with the explanation laid out clearly, some viewers refused to believe it. The damage was done. Derek's reputation had taken hits he never saw coming. Here's what doesn't make it into the highlight reels. Derek Bieri works 7 days a week, averaging well over 100 hours, trying to satisfy 2 completely different audiences with 2 completely different shows. That's not dedication, that's borderline self-destruction. Vice Grip Garage thrives on spontaneity and authenticity. Derek films himself, edits on his own timeline, and keeps everything raw and relatable. Roadworthy Rescues demands the opposite: production schedules, network approval, proper filming crews, and corporate oversight. Balancing these conflicting worlds means Derek's constantly switching gears, never fully present in either space. Then there's the family dynamic everyone overlooks. Jessica isn't just Derek's wife, she's his co-pilot, logistics manager, and the glue holding this entire operation together. During their sick week run, she handled routes, motel bookings, tire swaps, fuel management, and kept everyone fed while Derek focused on not destroying their Chevelle. She appears in videos, manages behind-the-scenes operations, and somehow keeps 3 boys on track while their dad's building an empire. Speaking of the kids, their youngest son Bentley runs his own YouTube channel called Little Grip Garage, reviving go-karts and dirt bikes with his father's help. It sounds wholesome until you realize these kids don't have a normal childhood. Their home is a content factory. Their father's always filming. Family time doubles as work time. The pressure to maintain this lifestyle falls on everyone, not just Derek. Critics love celebrating Derek's success without acknowledging what it costs: missing regular family dinners, canceling plans because a video deadline looms, watching your kids grow up through camera viewfinders instead of being fully present. Jessica's hinted at the challenges in interviews, admitting the grind is exhausting even when you love what you're doing. The Motor Trend deal intensified everything. Now Derek's not just managing his own brand, he's meeting network expectations, hitting contractual obligations, and trying to prove he can handle both worlds without compromising either. Most creators would crack under that pressure. The question isn't whether Derek can maintain this pace, it's how long before something gives. Despite every prediction that Motor Trend would swallow him whole, Derek pulled off something most creators can't. He kept his independence. Roadworthy Rescues exists on the network's terms, sure, but Vice Grip Garage remains untouched, unfiltered, and undeniably Derek's. The proof shows in the content. His YouTube videos still feature the same self-deprecating humor, the same budget builds, and the same "this probably isn't educational" disclaimer that started it all. He hasn't sanitized his personality or polished his presentation to match network standards. If anything, Derek's doubled down on staying authentic, almost like he's proving to skeptical fans that the corporate deal didn't change who he is. Recent events back this up. Derek competed at Sick Week, pushing his Chevelle nicknamed Independence to its absolute limits. He scribbled "Pray for me" on the differential cover, fully expecting parts to scatter across the track. The little 10-bolt rear end survived somehow, and Derek posted consistent 10-second passes all week, even hitting a 9.73 at over 140 mAh on the final run. He also won joint honors at 6 Skids for the best burnout competition. That's not a guy playing it safe for corporate sponsors. That's someone who still remembers why he started this whole thing. His subscriber count keeps climbing, currently sitting at over 2.3 million. Video views remain strong. Merchandise sales through his website continue funding the operation. The fan base that worried he'd abandon them, they're still here, still engaged, still trusting that Derek hasn't lost sight of his roots. The Motor Trend deal ended up being exactly what Derek claimed it would be: a parallel project that funds bigger adventures without compromising his core brand. He's managed to have both worlds, which is rare in this space. Most creators who sign with networks either fade into obscurity or become watered-down versions of themselves. Derek found the middle path, maintaining creative control while accessing resources that let him save more cars and tell bigger stories. But that doesn't mean the journey's been easy. Vice Grip Garage sells itself as one man's passion project. But that's only half true. Behind every video, every rescue, every upload sits an entire family grinding to make it work. This isn't just Derek's dream, it's become the Bieri family business with all the blessings and burdens that come with it. Jessica deserves far more credit than casual viewers realize. She's not just the supportive wife who occasionally appears on camera, she handles logistics, manages schedules, coordinates travel, and keeps 3 kids functioning while Derek's elbows deep in a carburetor. During sick week, she ran the entire operation, packing, navigation, tire changes, refueling, everything, so Derek could focus solely on driving. That's not helping out, that's full-time work disguised as partnership. Their 3 boys grew up differently than most kids. Their playground is a garage full of project cars. Their quality time with Dad happens while he's filming content. Bentley, the youngest, already runs Little Grip Garage, documenting his own mechanical adventures with go-karts and dirt bikes. It's adorable until you consider he's learning that cameras are always rolling, that family moments double as content, and that personal hobbies become public performance. There's beauty in this setup, kids learning valuable skills, parents working together, a shared family mission. But there's also immense pressure. What happens when one of the boys decides they hate cars? What if Jessica gets exhausted from managing chaos? What if Derek's relentless schedule starts affecting his health or relationships? These questions don't have easy answers. Derek's addressed this tension in interviews, acknowledging that working over 100 hours weekly isn't sustainable long-term. He's admitted the grind takes its toll, that balancing Motor Trend obligations with YouTube demands while maintaining family connections requires constant recalibration. Jessica's echoed similar sentiments, noting that while they love what they do, the pace is brutal. The reality nobody wants to discuss is that turning your passion into your livelihood, especially when your whole family's involved, means there's no separation between work and life. Every dinner conversation can become content planning. Every vacation involves potential filming locations. Success doesn't free you, it just makes the cage more comfortable. Right now, Derek Bieri's in a strange position, more successful than ever, yet still fighting to prove he hasn't changed. The numbers don't lie. Over 2.3 million YouTube subscribers, hundreds of millions of total views, a thriving merchandise business, and a network television show. By every measurable standard, he's made it. But success in this space comes with constant scrutiny. Recent appearances show Derek's still committed to his community. He's scheduled for major automotive events, including the Muscle Car and Corvette Nationals, where he'll spend entire days meeting fans and signing merchandise. He's expanding his brand with Vice Grip Lodge, a secondary YouTube channel exploring different content angles. His website continues moving products, from t-shirts featuring the infamous lawsuit truck, to tools and accessories his audience actually uses. The Motor Trend partnership has stabilized rather than consumed him. Roadworthy Rescues runs on its own track, while Vice Grip Garage maintains its independent identity. Derek's proven he can handle both without sacrificing the authenticity that built his reputation. He's still the guy filming himself with questionable lighting and even more questionable decisions, and fans love him for it. But challenges remain. The workload hasn't decreased. If anything, it's intensified as both platforms demand consistent content. The move to Tennessee required rebuilding his entire shop infrastructure from scratch. Balancing network television obligations with YouTube's constant demand for fresh uploads means Derek's living in permanent hustle mode. At some point, something's gotta give. His upcoming projects hint at bigger ambitions, more rescues, more builds, potentially more television opportunities. Derek's betting that staying true to his blue-collar roots while scaling up won't alienate the fan base that made him. It's a risky play. Expand too fast and you lose authenticity. Stay too small and you miss opportunities. The automotive YouTube space is littered with creators who burned out or sold out. Derek's trying to chart a third path, staying real while growing big. Whether he can maintain this balance long-term remains the biggest question. For now, he's still here, still wrenching, still proving that a farm kid with a taped-up iPhone can build something lasting. So what really happened to Derek Bieri? Absolutely nothing. And that's the whole point. He didn't disappear. He didn't sell out. He didn't crash and burn under corporate pressure, or flee Minnesota because of some scandal. Derek just did what most people can't. He evolved without losing himself in the process. The speculation, the rumors, the concern from fans, it all came from a place of genuine care. People loved Vice Grip Garage because it felt real in a space drowning in manufactured content. When Derek signed with Motor Trend and moved states, viewers worried they'd lose the creator who spoke their language. That fear was valid, even if it turned out to be unfounded. Derek's journey reveals something crucial about modern content creation. Success doesn't look like it used to. He's not living some fairy tale where YouTube fame solved all his problems and made life easy. He's grinding harder than ever, working over 100 hours weekly, managing 2 platforms, keeping a family together, and trying to save cars while staying profitable. That's not the dream, that's the price of the dream. But here's what matters. Derek's still himself, still wearing the same beat-up clothes, still talking like a regular guy, still showing you the failures alongside the victories. The corporate deal didn't polish him. The television show didn't change his approach. Moving to Tennessee didn't make him forget where he came from. He's remained stubbornly, authentically Derek Bieri, even when staying authentic was the harder choice. His story isn't about what happened to him, it's about what didn't happen. He didn't compromise, didn't fake it, didn't let success sand down his rough edges to appeal to a broader audience. In an industry that constantly pressures creators to become something more palatable, Derek chose to stay exactly who he's always been. A farm kid who loves wrenching on junk and sharing that passion with anyone willing to watch. That's not just rare in this space, that's damn near revolutionary.